We see Ning's car. Ning was thinking about his uncle. Ning says, I remember when I was little, I was brought into my uncle's family. It was him and his family who raised me. Uncle takes me as his own son. He taught me, fed me, cared for me, took care of me. Our family was not wealth, so he had to work really hard, but by then he would afford to let me study in a university. Ning make cry face. Ning thoughts, uncle, please be safe. We see a hospital. Ning says, do move out of the way please. Ning says, pardon me. Appreciate it. Just gonna pass through here. Ning calls Aunt. Aunt nervously says, Ning. Aunt says, you finally came, Tao. Ning's asked, how's uncle doing? Is he alright? Aunt reply, he's fine. He just injured his leg, he just needs to be hospitalized for a while. Ning says, that's great. Ning notice a man. Ning asked Aunt, who's the guy? A friend of uncle's? Aunt reply, no. He is the person who drove into your uncle. Ning angrily asked, so you're the person who drove into him? Man says, don't blame me, he was the who's blind enough to not look where he was going. And not to mention, even though my car got scratched, I am not asking you to pay. Ning angrily asked, that's your attitude after driving into someone? Man says, stop yelling, I can see through the tricks of the poor. Medical fees is what you want, right? Take it. Man drops money on the ground. Man says, sorry, my hand slipped. Aunt are nervous. Man says, what are you waiting for? Pick it up. You have not paid the medical fees, right? Why not get the kid to pick it up for you? Look at him. Lowered his head at the money on the floor. Aunt sees. Aunt feels bad. Aunt starting pick the money. Ning stopped. Ning says, Aunt, rest assured. I will cover the medical expenses. Aunt says, dear Tao. Ning says, you don't have to pay for the medical treatment anymore. Ning make demonic face, says, you must kneel and apologize to my aunt. Man says, you want me to say sorry? We see Man 2 bodyguard. Bodyguard says, we are the Gopher brothers. Is it you that you looking for trouble with our boss? He does not want to leave anymore. Aunt says, forget it, we can't fight against these as rich people. Man says, right. You should listen to your aunt and just take money. You want me to kneel down and apologize to your aunt? I'd only do it if you were my grandpa. Ning snap. Man surprised. Man laughs, says, you stupid person, even try to learn from me on how to snap your fingers? You think people will come and help you now? Man notice a sound. Bodyguard says, what happening, the ceiling is shaking. Man asked, is there an earthquake? We see lot of foot. We see lot of bodyguard. Man scared. Man thoughts, what is going on? Bodyguard says, boss, be careful. Man says, don't leave me. One bodyguard put his hand on Man. Bodyguard asked, you are the one who's causing problems for our boss? Man scared says, I am sorry, I am the one who's blind. I will be your grandson. I will grovel and beg for forgiveness. Ning says, you know, filial grandson. Ning calls Xiaohe. Ning says, you see that Lamborghini outside? Go, smash it. We see lots of weapons. Man asked, what are you guys trying to do? Don't touch my car. Bodyguard punch and says, get out of the way. One bodyguard hits with his bat on the car. One bodyguard hits with his hammer on the car. Man notice a road roller. Man are surprised, says, a road roller. We see Lamborghini. We see Lamborghini chapati. Man make ugly face, says, my Lamborghini. Ning drops money on the ground. Ning says, this is the payment for your car. Pick it up and scram. Man angrily says, you brat. Unforgivable. I just called in the big shots. You are gonna be dead. We see police officer. Police officer says, I have received a report about a car being smashed. Was it you? Man says, yes, ITY was me. We had lunch last time. Man says, Captain Zhao. You have to avenge me. My car got trashed, I even got bullied. Zhao asked how could that be. Ning says isn't that Captain Zhao? It's been a while. Zhao says Ning. What are you doing here? Man make ugly face thoughts they're acquaintances. If you like my video please share and subscribe.